Hi folks, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna explore the toolments and the beauties of the world of interactive plots. I know you're not likely to think about visual libraries like Plotly or Plotly Express, Bokeh, or maybe some app makers like Streamlit. However, out there's a pretty invaluable tool belonging to the huge Always universe, and it's called Panel. Panel is an open source Python library that we can use to create interactive tools like widgets, dashboards, and apps. I'm not hiding the fact that for the project I'm gonna show you today, I really struggled a lot for a series of reasons. The first one is for the library's version conflicts. You not only should pay attention to update libraries for Panel, Bokeh, or Always, but you also have to find out the best combination of updates for making them work properly. What is working today, it may be not working tomorrow, even just for a single library update. But don't worry, because online it's full of workarounds. For this project, you can just follow my very same versions. Second reason is my personal lack of experience in linking functions in interactive tools like widgets. Last but not least, well, maybe it's better if you see everything step by step and you make up your own minds. And now for making things a bit more complicated, in this small project we'll see how to deal with several levels or dimensions in order to nest as many discrete variables as wished and plot them together. Trust me, it's not so easy after all. And like from my previous videos, I'll drop the links to both my GitHub page for the source code and to my Medium article that inspired this video. Now, without further ado, let's get the fun and the pain started. I don't want to lie to any of you. Working with these libraries may be a great, but at the same time, a very treacherous experience. The reason relies on the incompatibility of these libraries. Sometimes just a change may crash all the work. So now, hope you're lazy enough to just copy and paste the commands I'm gonna show you now. But let's see what to do step by step and case by case. Go to the shell, so start, run, cmd. And once you're here, in the case you didn't install any of this library, just do pip install and the name of the three main libraries, so Always, Panel, and Bokeh. Hope it's the right pronunciation. And if you're smart enough, you can just use this command, install the name of the libraries and the version. So in this case, I don't remember, 1.18.0. Now, imagine we've done all the same things for Always, Panel, and Bokeh. At this point, we're done. But in the case you have already installed, before this project, you already installed these libraries, and you want to be sure you're using the same versions I have, just do this, pip show and the name of your libraries. Okay, here you can see the number, version 1.18. If you check and you don't have the same version, so just copy and paste this one here, pip install and upgrade the name of the version to the same number. Okay, once we're done, we can move to the next two libraries for this project, hvplot and PyDataset. The first one is another library coming from the Always universe, and it's used as an API for creating both interactive and static plots. In the first case, it works in the background, such as with libraries like Bokeh as default, and of course Plotly and Plotly Express. If you want to just static ones, it works along with Seaborn and Matplotlib. PyDataset, on the other hand, well, it's just a library containing a list of small data frames. I suggest you to use this if you are a self-learner, a Python data analysis or data science enthusiast, and you just want to test some of the functions or the commands. In this way, you don't have to waste time by creating datasets on your own. Okay, once we're done with all these libraries, we can start the project. Okay, all the libraries are installed. Just pay attention to these extensions. We are importing all of them, and Tabulator is an extension for a panel, which is used to make the data frame or a source of data interactive and connected, linkable to some interactive tools like widgets. Okay, and options from all of you just to customize a dynamic plot. So let's start with the datasets. Just to make you sure, I call them PyDS, Py datasets. And in this way, with this command, I show you all the list of datasets contained in this library. I'm interested in this one. Here, I color. And guess what? Yeah, there is this one. It's just a small data frame containing 3 categorical values in form of the 3 columns. Here, I and sex or gender, and one numerical one, which is the frequency, so the number of occurrences for each combination. And now, let's start from the end. So how I want my data be displayed. This is the final results, and I've used Plotly Express, because Plotly Express is the best way to make dynamic what we can do with other instruments, like for instance Seaborn, which is more close to the statistical one, or ggplot in ggplot or ggplot, I don't know, in R. So just pay attention. I want 4 columns according to the to the color of air. So this is the first of my 3 categorical values. Epsilon is the only numerical one, so the number of occurrences. X, the sex, is the first of the 3 one. In this way, I got 2 sub-columns of values for each of these colors over here. And faced color is the most important one, because it gives me 4 subgroups according to the value of the hair color. And the final result, the last level, is, of course, the eye color that I customized this way with the color. So I didn't have many fantasy, I just changed Hazel with coral, because coral is the closest one. For the other things, just green, blue, and what's the other one? Brown. Okay, this is the results I want to achieve, but I want to do it in a way that whenever I click on one of these values, for instance, the eye color or the hair color or just the gender, I only show the information I want. Okay, and this is what I want to do in 2 steps. The first one, by creating the widgets, and that's what I'm going to do here today in front of you. For instance, tn panel widgets, that's the common, and I chose the one that better display what I'm using now. That's check button group, so a list of discrete variables. Now I got to give him a name, and I call him gender or sex. It's up to you. And of course, the most important things here is to specify a list of values. Of course, we don't have much room to choose. We just have 2 values, male and female. And finally, we just choose the color. In this case, it's not so intuitive, but it's called button type. And I chose a warning. We don't have many colors in this case, for what I remember. Just to show you what I've done here is this one. I got a male and female, which is connected. But if I click on each of them, they just become darker, but they don't show any results. The reason is because I didn't connect any value or any source of value to these widgets. Okay, I will gonna do it in the second step. Now let's call him sex. And then now we need to make even the other 3 ones, 2 categorical and 1 numerical. Let's copy and paste the other 2 categorical, doesn't change, nothing change apart from the list of the values. And now say the frequency, that's the most important one. In this case, I change the widgets, and it's an int slider. So it's just a line with where I got to specify the starting. No, first of all, I got to start the name, of course. As I don't have much parentheses, I say frequency. And now a starting value. starting value in this case can be 0, 1. As I don't want to going to check the minimum value, I just say minimum value of frequency. Better, that's frequency. Okay, and the same thing for the last value to display. So as a mark, and is the max of df dot frequency. Once we're done, I can even choose, for instance, a starting value. So the first one I choose. It's just up to you, but I want to show always the minimum one, df dot frequency. And if there are a lot of values, I suggest you to use some step. In this case, just a couple of one. And to show you, okay, to show you these results, let's move to another cell here and say, I want to show it as a column value, and the order is the same I already specified, sex, hair, I, and of course frequency. No, you know what? I put frequency as the second one. And I hope everything is okay here. And that's it. As I told you before, I can just select, but nothing will be displayed. I need to do that in the second step. And as you can see here, minimum value 2, then move to 4, 6, 10, and 8, 10, and so on. Let's move to the second step. So how to create an interactive data frame and how to connect it to our widgets. Okay, we have our widgets and we know they work. And we're very close to the final achievement of our projects. However, we need one step more, and we make to create an interactive data frame, or better, we need to convert our data frame from static to interactive, in order that whenever I click on one of these widgets, the value shown in our data frame changes. To do that, we just need one command, which is interactive. And let's see what we got this way. Just a normal data frame. But now I can connect and link this data frame to the value of these widgets. For doing it, we need to do the same query we did, for instance, for a pandas data frame. This way, I select a list of queries, so a list of selection. I call them pipe because in effect it's like a pipeline. So this is the list, and I use the same value. IDF dot, in this case, the column sex. Remember, I'm selecting the value in the column. Call this way. Easy. And this value must be inside not just a list, but inside the value of this widget that unfortunately I call the same way, which is sex. So this sex is the column or data frame, and this one is the widgets. The same thing can be done with all the other columns. Of course, I need to make and okay, I got some problem today. And for instance, look at here, the frequencies of our column are included in the same slider here, all the way. And the same things for hair and eye. If I now select our pipe, this is what I got. I got this. Okay, nothing's been selected so far. If I select male, they start and be populated. If I change and say even female, but now I can select other variables, and whenever I click on one of them, it increase and change it. So our final achievement has already reached. But before moving on to the next step, we need to, I want to show you another way to push this thing. And it's pretty easy. Do you remember, or maybe you have already used the command dot pipe for a pandas data frame? we can use this for this interactive data frame, which now or better, for the selection of all the values that I called pipe. A bit unfortunate even in this case. So our selection of value in this interactive undergoes the command pipe, which is used in pandas, but now is hvplot environment. In this way, I not only can select a list of chainable functions, but this way, to make it very short and easy, I just have to select a class of objects. In this case, our object is the widget. The widget actually is the tabulator. As I remember at the beginning, I imported the tabulator extension for panel, which means that now, if I select this interactive way to connect the tabulator with the commands I select in our widgets, everything works without any problem. Page size, just to customize, for instance, I want just 3 elements for each page, and pagination equal remote is another way for make it work. If you're on Jupyter and your background is white, you may not be able to watch all the elements. I tell it for experience. In that case, if you work on Jupyter, just use theme equal best, okay? In this case, I don't need it, so I will delete it. Now, I call this interactive pipeline as, no, sorry, I call it iterable. And let's see what we got here. The same thing as before, but now something has changed, it's much better. For instance, if I deselect female, we just have this value, only male. If I deselect something else, we have less pages. So if I want to populate and get all the results, I can do this way. Now we have 4 pages. Okay, I can even change it like in an Excel pivot table here. Okay, I'll ignore this warning. Sex, high, hair, index, and everything changed. Okay, now we're ready for the last step, which is combining our widgets and our data frame inside a plot. Let's see how to do that. And finally, the last step. We got the widgets, we got our interactive data frame, and now we want to combine them in order that every time I click on a button, my graph, my plot, just customize and update itself. Remember, my target is this plot here from Plotly. Unfortunately, with the booking extension, I couldn't reproduce the exactly as the same plot. But we're gonna very close. Okay, the first method is this one. I use hvplot and the extension for customize the plots from HoloViews, which is options. Use as a kind typology, I bar chart. As epsilon, the frequency, and let's see again our plots. I got 3 different levels. The first one, each column, thanks to the face color commands in Plotly, I got the hair color, black, brown, and red, and blonde. In each of these columns, I just select the second level, which is the gender or sex, male and female. And inside this, another third level, which is the eye color. And the eye color are this one. I used a list or dictionary for them, okay? And this is what I'm gonna do here. Epsilon frequency, X hair, by it's the closest command to face color, even if it's not working the same way. You can just select sex, for instance, but I'm just showing you that even if you say sex and then here, it doesn't change. Color high, and so the color mag, and that's the problem, stacked. It doesn't work. Yeah, I'm spoiling this, just because that's something that I couldn't handle. And with ops, I just select some customize. I run it, and this is what I got here. I got the first level with the color of my hair, Then inside of each of them there are the sex, and for each of them there are 4 different colors, which are the eye color. So all information displayed inside one only graph, and whenever I change it, something changes. Before doing it, I'm showing the second way to do that, which is the same graph plus, for those who already have experience with the decorators, so each is a function that wraps another function and connects some of the inputs data to some other parameters. And in this case, what I mean, to make it short, whenever I click on some of the inputs, which are the button or these widgets, the value connected inside this function call the function which is widget plot, so plotting these things here, and it's updated according to the button I click, and that's the results, the same as before. So what happens, for instance, if I say I just want a male, I keep off female, and that's only male. I want to have a higher frequency, so less data, and that's something that changes. Okay, the project itself ends here. If you want to follow me for the bonus track, and as a bonus track, I chose to show you how to make a dashboard in Panel. I'm sure you're used to make the same thing with other tools more advanced like Tableau, Power BI, or maybe even Streamlit. However, that's as I'm doing a project here on Panel, I think it was a good idea to show you can do easily. The first thing you want to do, first of all, the results we're expecting is this one. So we got a sidebar, a title for the whole dashboard. Here we have a sidebar, and here a main concept, a main place. To do that, few commands. I start by creating a widget box, which is this one. I gave it a title and I insert the 3 widgets I created before. So widget box, the title I gave, the 4 elements, and the styles, the background. Then if you don't like the white background, you can import a dark theme, as I did here. Now for the sidebar, I just create, first of all, a template material template. Don't be scared by this name, you don't have to remember by heart. Just follow the full documentation and you will see it's pretty easy and straightforward. I insert a title, this one, interactive KD. Then, as a sidebar, a column containing a new write or new text, this one, and then an image which should be located in the same directory, in the same working directory of your project Python file. I chose the sides, and then I chose my new widget box here and the interactive data frame. Let me show you once again the text, the image I imported, my widget box I created now, and then the interactive data frame. In this main part, which is called main, I insert another column containing 2 plots. You can just say plot 1 and plot 2 after the comma, but sometimes, and I suggest you this trick, use row for each of the elements. This way it can be customized the best way. In this case, of course, I just chose the name of the 2 plots, the plotly at the beginning and the one I created in Panel. Just chose the background color for the header and a theme dark, and then I run it, and the result is this one. Like the stairs at Hogwarts, even this dashboard like to change the size, and I'm going to show you what I mean. I relaunch once again, and here you can see it's too big. However, it's not important, I think. And that's all, folks. I don't have anything else to add for this project. I hope you enjoyed, and once again, if you want to consider the idea to comment, like or subscribe the channel, just feel free to do it. Every advice is very welcome too. I'll come back soon with some new ideas, so stay tuned, and in the meantime, learn and get fun into your journey to the data world. Bye bye!